Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Myself Jay. Channel I've created to a different understanding or a different approach for a sustainable solutions. Okay, so in order to produce that, I have started my this channel. Please support me and let's dive in and learn something. So the first video I'm going to talk about is, can we make AI less thirsty? So I am from an energy background. While drinking this water bottle, I realize when we are generating electricity, we need water in heat exchangers and in different segments of any power plant. So the question comes, I'm going to use AI, which is going to use some energy. Energy, where it will come from? It will come from data centers, correct? There will be a data center which we call as a cloud, but that's going to consume some certain energy to process this data and give us the solution. Let's try to understand. If I search say 10, 15, 20 prompts, a typical heat exchanger or a grid electricity which is supporting the data center, and from where we are getting our solution or answer, how much energy they are consuming, and in order to generate that energy, how much water they are going to consume. So let's try to understand them a bit. And interesting, I'm going to ask AI to answer the same question. Correct. So why this question came into my mind? Because summer of 24, summer of 24, we know Bangalore, the temperature was soaring high, as well as all across the places in India, and there was a lot of water shortages. Faced certain issue from electricity demand. Temperature was high, so we need coolers, AC. The electricity consumptions were high. At the same time, ChatGPT was releasing their AI solution, and Bangalore being a tech hub, people are using AI prompt to generate solutions and make things easier. But remember, any prompt we are giving, we are getting any solution. Now with ChatGPT 4 and coming 5, as well as in Gemini, we are getting images also, we are getting videos also. For that, GPUs are required, and we get the image. So we have to understand, correct, like in this process of making a prompt, and we get an answer, and we get almost 9 out of 10 times we get a right answer about whatever we are looking for. So I asked ChatGPT to understand how much water does this consume. Asked ChatGPT is like, how much energy you consume in say a typical 20-30 user prompt. And the response we got, like, there is a hardware energy in GPUs, and NVIDIA is there, and in India currently you're using this processor. I have very limited knowledge about that, but this area I have, like, it uses close to 400 watts per hour if it's on a full load. Correct. Great. So how much time is going to correct? So they say like it takes approximate 1 second to generate, and this is the energy consumption. 400 watts per hour are typical, and if it's a, and we did the simple maths, what's it going to cost? So for 20 watt, it comes around 2.2 watt per hour, and for 30 prompt it's come 3.3 watt per hour. Correct. So that is the typical energy consumption when we have 20-30 prompts. We are shooting up with ChatGPT or and Gemini. Then the question comes, like, suppose that work used to done by a one guy, that person is fired from his job because that is replaced by AI solution. Great, that is happening in industry. A lot of layoffs are happening because AI is able to do the job. I try to understand a typical person developer in Bangalore, on how much energy they are going to consume. Correct, because the person is living in Bangalore, he has not moved out yet. So I shoot up that question. What I realize is desktop consumption, lighting, condition, ceiling fan, devices, and the conclusion comes a typical 7.4 to 7.94. Correct, between 7 to 8 kilowatt of hours is required for a day usage. Correct, it's a day use which includes full day use a typical developer is using approximate 7 to 8 megawatts hour. And now the question comes, in this 400 watts per hour, correct, that is the full load consumption. But what is the power we need to generate? Correct, efficiency come into the picture. So if we are generating say 100 megawatt, by the time it reaches to our house it is usually 60-70 megawatt. What I asked is like I asked ChatGPT is like in order to generate 400 watts per hour, a typical power requirement I need to have. So the answer we got from the grid point of view, we required around 444. Grid is highly efficient. Efficiency is more than 90%. Solar panel, we need more. Efficiency is around 75%. So we need 530 watt of power in order to generate 400 watt of power for the AI solution. Correct. And if it's a generator, whether it's a fuel powered or diesel power generator, then the efficiency is further low. Correct, the losses are more in the generator. So a typical data center, whatever I have seen, which is in nearby Bangalore, there are in Bangalore there are across 4 to 5 data centers, and each are handled by a different private entity. First of all, Bangalore, a tech city, there is a huge gap in the power supply and the demand. So they use diesel generator to in order to fulfill those things. Conclusion what it came was this: uh, for grid we need close to 450 watts of power. For solar panel we approximate 533 watt, and when it comes to generator it comes 1142 watts of power, which is huge. Correct. I asked like suppose we are using grid, power we are gonna need. So there is some thermal based, because what we are using water requirement is close to a liter. Okay. And if it's a hydro, we need if it's a hydroelectric plant in Bangalore, we get some electricity near Shimoga where hydroelectric power plant is there, and there we need this many liters per hour. Correct. And if it is a thermal power plant which runs with enough efficiency, it requires approximate 1 liter per hour to generate that. This power requirement, what it comes, is close to a liter an hour if it's a thermal power plant. Now I asked, this is the one consumption in order to generate that electricity. Then the next question come I asked is like a typical data center, how much water it is consumed. Correct. If it's a data center, it requires certain air conditioning method can be used are used to in order to maintain that temperature uh, that is required. If you are working in any IT industry or tech park, you have a local server room in your office building. Every server office has a temperature maintained. So a data center also requires much more cooling. I asked ChatGPT. There is something called water consumption rate is there. Efficiency is zero point 0.1 to 1 liter kilo for kilowatt per hour. Correct. So a typical data center for used to 24,000, and if it is zero point 0.5 liter, annual consumption comes to this one 43 lakhs liter per year. The next summer, which is gonna be much more hotter, and the AI is gonna be much more powerful. If AI replaces the job of a person working in Bangalore, great. It's doing work for business is running smooth properly, but the average consumption of power for a typical engineer who got fired, it's going to remain same or it's going to increase further. While our population is increasing, we need more energy, as well as AI is consuming much more energy that we have anticipated. Correct. So somewhere we have to find a solution, and one of the solution can be is the data center, and from where they are getting. One of the solution which I have is like we have a data center and we have a power generation place. Correct. one of the solution, the majority losses happen in power generation is in the transmission. So if we can make a way where the power required for the data center, if it can generate and there only, it can be by means of solar panel or geothermal, correct? Two of the fusion data center has its own power generation, not the diesel generator. Diesel generator consumes a lot of of fuel, and the efficiency is not that great during the peak summer time when we have excessive energy demand. The power capacity whatever I'm seeing, it's not going to meet the both needs. Thanks, this is my first episode. Please let me know if you have any comments, any suggestion, and like, share and subscribe to my channel.